Blend in time.
Thank you so much for joining me. It's so good to see you. We probably have maybe cooked in the past together, so this definitely looks a little different, but we're going to hopefully do the same thing. We're going to practice making a great recipe together. So today we are making smoothies, and you should have received your ingredients. And I can only see myself. Are you guys all on? Have your screens all stopped video?
Yeah, I think Liz turned the video off.
You want me to turn them on?
You can turn.
No, it doesn't matter. Just if anybody has a question, you can either type it in or raise your hand or let Liz know, and
I'll unmute.
You should leave Ajay's and Jaden's video on, and then you can mute everybody, just so if they have a question, we can see that they're raising their hand.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So I am in my kitchen, and I'm going to step back. Whoops! I'm going to step back behind here to show you the ingredients that you have received. And if I can't see you, just let me know, or you need to see something closer, and let's get started. So first off, I hope you guys are safe and you're dealing with this world situation the best we can. We've all heard a lot about how important it is to wash our hands, but those of us who've been cooking already know how important that is. So we just want to continue with that. 20 seconds under with soap and water, some hand sanitizer. Secondly, we want to make sure that our cleaning surfaces are clean as well. And the third most important safety tip is that whatever is in our mouth, we want to keep it in our mouth. So like we talked about the last time we cooked together, it can be real tempting to lick our fingers and take a taste, but we just want to make sure we're not doing that. So the ingredients that I have might look a little bit different than yours, but a smoothie basically has three main components. We've got our fruit, we've got our yogurt, and some liquid, either a juice that you have on hand. I happen to have orange juice today, any kind of juice, or milk, and that's going to be the component that makes the smoothie creamy. So with that in mind, our recipe calls for 2 cups of fruit. So I have this cup measurement, but I'll tell you the truth. A lot of times I don't necessarily measure out my fruit. I look at this cup and it's about the size of my palm. So I think 2 handfuls of my favorite fruit is what I'm going to use. Then the container of yogurt you have should be about 6 ounces. That's around a cup. Or if you have a big container like this, you can measure out the amount you need. Then the liquid is going to be a cup as well. So the thing that I absolutely love about smoothies is that I get to be as creative as I want. So even though these directions give us some amounts to start with, if I want it to be creamier, I might add a little bit more yogurt. Or if I want it to be more liquid, I can add a little bit more juice. The way that the recipe says fruit, I get to choose which fruits I use. So with that in mind, we could have a strawberry milkshake, or we could have a strawberry smoothie. And we think about what would be the biggest difference. So with the strawberry milkshake, it's going to have more sugar in it for sure. It's going to have less vitamins and minerals than the fruit. So that's why smoothies are a better choice. The yogurt is going to give us some protein, and it also has less fat than ice cream. So when we think about adding fruit to our diet, it is recommended 5 to 7 servings a day, guys. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a lot to me. The thing that I love about a smoothie is that I can incorporate 2 or 3 of those fruit servings in one drink. I want to be thoughtful of the color. So we need, of those 5 to 7 variety servings, we need to have a variety of color. Why? Because have you guys heard the phrase, we need to eat the rainbow? I always thought, like, what the heck does that mean? Well, it comes to find out, as I started studying nutrition, every color of fruit and vegetable brings its own nutrient, vitamin superpower to the show. So if we only eat orange, we only get orange's vitamin. But if we add a red and a yellow or a purple or even a green, because I have been known to put spinach in my smoothies, yes I have. So the more color that we have, the more vitamins we get. So that's kind of what we think about. The fruits that I have today, I've chosen strawberries, bananas, and pineapple. Let's talk about how fruit is packaged, because there's three main ways. We can buy fruit that's fresh, like this, in a little container. We can buy fruit that is frozen, which might look like a bag, or we can buy it in a can. So the difference between the three is not the nutrients. They all have the same nutrients, whether they're in a can or they're fresh. The two big things I have found that makes it the difference is the price and how quickly it spoils. So when I go to the store, fruit is expensive and I've got to get 5 to 7 servings in a day. That could blow my whole budget. So I shop for sales, and you'll find that those sales change week to week. So I like to be a pretty savvy detective. This week, they happen to have fresh strawberries on sale. Well, I don't do a good job, to be honest, of eating all of my fruit every day. So sometimes this goes bad before I can eat it. So that makes buying it frozen a little bit more convenient because it doesn't go bad when it's frozen. Same with being in a can. So when they were on sale like this, like what I do is I buy this, I bring them home, I have a nice little colander like this. Always want to wash our fruit really well, the fruit that we're not going to, that doesn't have a peel on it, bananas, oranges, we don't have to wash those. But if we're eating the outside, we want to wash it. So I washed these strawberries because they were on sale, and I trimmed them up, took the stems off, and cut them in smaller pieces. Now I got a better deal by buying the fresh this week than I did the frozen. They're all the same, just trying to save some money as I go along. Maybe next week, these might be cheaper, so I'll swap it out. The thing that I like to do in order to keep my fruit from going bad quicker, I put it in the freezer, but that also makes our smoothie where we don't necessarily have to add ice cubes because our fruit is already frozen. So that's another super good trick. Did you guys ever notice that you buy bananas, if you eat bananas, you buy them and 2 days later, they're brown and yucky? Yeah, so believe it or not, bananas can go in the freezer too. You want to make sure that you peel them. And so I've already done this, peeled it, put it in a Ziploc bag, and then that day I've got either my fresh fruit that's good to use, my frozen that's in a bag, or something that I've already prepared. Along those lines, you might have received some canned fruit. Same trick, guys. The pineapple or the peaches. This happens to be mango. I bring it home. It was on sale last week. I bought some. Bring it home, put it in a Ziploc bag, and boom, it's frozen. Because for some reason, canned mango is cheaper than buying it in frozen. So those are my little tricks, and that's why fruit looks packaged differently and how we can make the smoothie in the most cost-effective way. Because my girls love to go to Smoothie King, but I tell you, $5 for a smoothie, I'm thinking we can do this. I get to pick my fruit. I get to have less sugar and less fat, and it's going to be more affordable. So let's get started. Another quick safety tip about blenders. Yours might look a little bit different than mine. I have a big pitcher that's attached, but I moved a couple months ago and the pitcher broke. So luckily, I found the single serving attachment that works with my blender, but either piece of equipment is going to work fine. We just want to keep in mind two things. It's sharp and it's electric. So with that in mind, when you're using it, just be thoughtful you're not cutting yourself on the blades. Same when you wash it, you want to not leave it in the sink. You want to make sure you rinse it off real carefully, set it away to dry where nobody can cut themselves. And if I spill or something leaks on my blender because it's plugged in, before I take a wet washcloth to it, I want to make sure that I reach over here and I unplug it. No water is on the electricity. So with that in mind, I want to share another tip about the blender. I made a lovely, delicious smoothie one time, and the lid on the pitcher wasn't super smooth. Super tight. So my smoothie wound up being on the ceiling. So when you have, oh, I see you've got one like this too. Yep. Those are great and super handy. If you have a blender that has a pitcher, just do me a favor. Make sure that you've got your hand on top of it when it blends, and that'll keep those splatters from going everywhere. So you guys ready to get started? I am going to add my yogurt first. I have used vanilla, which is just what we happen to have in our refrigerator today, but there's all different kinds of flavors of yogurt. We just want to add about 6 ounces, which I'm going to eyeball that, is a cup. You can see this container, it's about 1/3 of the way full. So to my yogurt, we've got our 3 components, remember. We've got the yogurt, the fruit, and the liquid. So on to the fruit. I'm going to put my frozen banana in. You guys going to cook along with me? That's great. If not, you can watch, and then after you make yours, go ahead and tell us how it is, what some secret tips are. Got my pre-cut strawberries. I'm going to use a total of 2 handfuls of fruit. So that looks to be, to me, about 3 or 4 strawberries. I'm going to add some blueberries because I like to have my purple in there. A handful of that coming in. Drop this in. And then I also happen to have found in the freezer today, because sometimes at my house, fruit gets buried in these bags. I found some pineapple. So if you have a can of pineapple, you can incorporate that as well. You might not have had a chance to put yours in the freezer, and that's okay. You can add some ice cubes, or maybe your liquid that you're going to add is cold enough. It's all about your preference with texture and taste, which is why I love smoothies so much. So I've got my yogurt. I've got my 2 cups of fruit. Now I'm going to add a splash of orange juice. Orange juice seems to be pretty concentrated at the bottom. So I think what I'm going to do is pour in just a little bit of water, or you can use ice cubes. I happen to not have any ice cubes today. So as long as you've got equal parts, basically, a smoothie, liquid, and fruit, we're in good shape. As we have talked about serving size, this recipe will make 1 smoothie. But that isn't to say that you can't double this or triple it, especially if you have a big pitcher. What I like to do sometimes is to make 3 or 4 smoothies at the same time. Then I take that pre-made smoothie, and once I've emptied the bag of my frozen fruit, I pour the pre-made smoothie into the bag and put it in the freezer. That way I have smoothies made up for the next couple of days. Another trick we learned, because I made a batch of smoothies that was really, really thick, is that once that was frozen, it didn't get super liquidy when we took it out of the freezer to let it melt. It stayed firm. So my girls decided that that was their new favorite ice cream. It's not really ice cream, it's because it's made with yogurt. It's more like frozen yogurt. So that's actually a second way that you can use the smoothie using the same ingredients. Sometimes you might want to drink it, you add more liquid, or you might want to leave it frozen, add more yogurt to it, and it's thicker and you can eat it with a spoon. So variety and choice of flavors, those are my 2 favorite things. All right, so I've got my 3 main ingredients in here. Gonna screw my top on really tight and give this a whirl. Anybody along the way have any questions? Feel free to type them in or turn your video on and raise your hand, and Liz or Halen can get to that. So here we go. Usually just a couple pulses. Sometimes with pineapple and blueberries, they tend to have a little more texture or fiber, which is exactly why we like to eat fruit. Fiber is great for us, but it doesn't always go down the straw super smooth. So you might want to give it an extra couple blends. All right, guys. The one I made this morning was strawberry banana. You can see it's kind of pink. This one with the addition of blueberries is nice and purple. And I am going to pour it out and give it a try. Let me know what you guys think. Because I'm going to share this with my girls, I'm going to avoid drinking right out here. I'm going to make myself a serving and probably freeze that one for later. So let's see how we did. Great. We actually add extra yogurt sometimes to our smoothies, or yogurt that has a lot of protein in it. And this can be a great summer snack, but it also can work for a meal because you've got your fruits. And throwing spinach, you got your vegetable, and the yogurt serves as your protein. So it's a great meal and a snack.
Ajay, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was asking, can I put all the fruit in, or is that up to me?
You do what? I'm sorry.
Can I put all the fruit in, or is that up to me?
Yeah, you can put all the fruit in. You put in whatever you want. If you like it, if you don't like it, it's your smoothie. Okay.
Hey, Dad, can we use a blender?
Do you guys remember when we made these smoothies this past fall? Anyone?
Mm-mm.
I do.
My partner, Tyler, who says hello, I talked to her this morning. She remembered that we snuck in something crazy like tofu on you guys. Does anybody remember that?
I do. I don't know if any of these ones were at that one though.
Yeah. So that is
I
something
think I've heard thing already.
I was surprised that day. The tofu.
Is that Donovan in the background?
Yeah, that's Donovan in the
Tell
background.
him I said hello. I would have brought him fruit if you would have told me he was.
I don't think he wanted to. Forget Donovan.
Okay.
Yeah, forget you. Wait, where's the big one? Ain't right over here. It's over here.
Oh, wait a minute.
Jaden, how's your smoothie coming along?
Good. We're making Joseph's first.
This is what mine looks like. I put all the fruits in there.
I can't wait to hear about what flavors you guys combine.
I did bananas and strawberries.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I did the mixed berry, the raspberry, blueberry, banana, strawberry yogurt, and the pineapples. I used all of them.
Oh, love it.
What
I actually have a friend who puts avocados in their smoothie. I thought that was pretty crazy, but it blends up and it takes on the fruit flavor, and you've got some great protein or nutrients in an avocado if you don't have yogurt.
What you put in your smoothie?
This is my
Hold up.
Oh,
I'm gonna put all the strawberries in here. I want a strawberry one. So
feel free to add some ice cubes if you want to make it more frozen and smooth.
okay. Well, we know I'm adding ice. You added all the strawberry. It was a mistake. I added all of the strawberry.
She took all of your strawberries?
Yeah, it was an accident. All of
I
them.
even brought 2 bags of strawberries for you.
What?
I said I even brought you guys 2 bags of strawberries.
We each took one.
That was the point.
Oh, okay. She said that was where's the milk? Right here.
Has anyone ever tried adding a green vegetable to their smoothie?
Yes,
Yeah,
my dad.
Our dad. Okay, so dad makes smoothies all the time. He always puts spinach in it and stuff like that.
Have you ever tasted it? What'd you think?
Yeah, it was good.
It's good.
I didn't
It
taste
doesn't
it.
taste like the
Yeah.
vegetable.
For those who don't care for greens, it's a great way to sneak the flavor in. You almost don't even know it's there.
My hand.
Jaden, what kind of smoothie did you make?
Banana and strawberry.
What about you, Jaden?
Everything. Yeah. Everything.
Okay.
Oh,
Did you also do everything also?
Yeah.
Did you make it already or are you about to make it?
Yep, it's made. It's in the blender.
okay.
Taste it and let me know how it wished. Did you add ice to yours?
Yes.
We added ice. We all added ice. All added ice.
That's what the recipe calls for. That's great.
Nice. Did Joseph or anyone have any?
Ooh, that's pretty.
Joseph just ran upstairs.
Did you drink it yet?
Ooh, look
No.
at that. It's
You afraid
great.
of something?
Ita. Oh, look at those. Man.
It's a mess. I love pineapples. I ain't gonna touch these so Bobby. They gave us a soft one. They gave us the soft ones on purpose. This is just a random banana.
Kaylin,
Yes.
where are these from?
Where are these from?
Yep.
Are you asking me? I don't know. Where'd you get them?
The cooking class.
Oh, you got them from the cooking class?
Yeah.
So Carolyn gave you those. Do you remember?
So wait, how do you put it on there, Dad?
I'll show you.
Okay.
What was your favorite thing we cooked during the cooking class when we were in person? Do you
I
remember?
haven't
I don't know.
done a cooking class in person.
It's been a while, hasn't it? Added pineapple juice.
I did.
Love that idea. So we had a surplus of pineapple juice. I don't know how it happened. And several containers were open. And then once again, it's going to go bad before we can drink it. So we found some plastic ice cube trays and we actually poured the pineapple juice in the ice cube trays, froze those, and put that in the freezer. So if I don't have juice on handy, I've got some pineapple or some orange juice, pre-frozen cubes.
Hey, yo,
in
my
the freezer.
smoothie kind of good.
Have you guys ever had granola in your smoothies? Do you like granola?
I eat granola with yogurt.
You like granola with yogurt?
More.
Would you guys
Y'all
want to learn how to make homemade granola?
What's that? I get vanilla yogurt with chocolate granola.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna do homemade granola next week.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
If- With like all these bananas, Kaylin just gave me a bunch of bananas.
Oh.
Probably gonna go bad soon. I peel them and cut them in half and put them in the freezer too, and then you can use those in a
Oh
smoothie.
yeah, I can do that. I
While
can.
they're still good, like not the
Okay.
brown ones. You
Yeah.
can freeze brown ones for baking.
All right, I'm gonna get this
That
I'll
sounds
forget this.
great.
stuff linked up and then
Can I show you guys one
like
other
ice.
trick?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I think like mushy bananas in a blender, sometimes that's kind of gross. It doesn't even really work. It's almost better if they're frozen first.
Yeah, I think I should be able to save those bananas if I just put them in the freezer.
Okay, so there seems to be a common theme in my house that revolves around too much food that we haven't eaten in the freezer. So this happens to be one of my second favorite tricks.
this is
A big container of yogurt like this. Didn't want it to go bad. Love to eat a lot of smoothies. I took a cupcake pan and portioned out my yogurt in here, popped it in the freezer, and then I have frozen yogurt cups. So I take one of those out and plop it in the smoothie.
That's a good idea too.
Yeah.
Love my freezer if you can't tell. Cooking on a dime.
Did Jaden finish her smoothie? Are you still making your smoothie? Did you finish yours?
I'm gonna blend it now.
Okay.
Yeah, tell us how
Lagging.
I'm blending it.
Kaylin and Liz, I wish we were together because I've got 2 smoothies here. I'd
I
love
know.
to share.
I would drink a smoothie right now. I do
Yeah,
have,
see,
I have yogurt and granola in the fridge.
Yeah.
No, yours
There
got
you
the
go.
berries. in it. I don't like to take.
Hey,
Those look good. I'm jealous.
Real good.
those.
And my
I
good.
blended mine.
Here you go, guys. Cheers. They
Do a
look
virtual
great.
cheers. I got a Gatorade. So I'll do this.